So you mentioned having a Guns N' Roses shirt on earlier when you were in Nigeria.
Oh yeah.
Which brings me to you almost getting to meet Axl Rose.
No.
We have to.
No.
No?
Yes.
Because this is the thing. We try to keep these interviews around 2 hours. We're almost an hour and a half in at this point. I got a bunch of fan questions, but we cannot.
Okay.
We cannot leave.
I'm going to tell the true story.
Please.
Okay.
I'm going to be subdued for this. I may get a bit more cheese.
Intro it in.
How
this happens.
Cliff and I had been in contact before. We were talking to each other before we met for like almost a year.
We became friends via the podcast.
Yeah. And we had a mutual friend, one current NXT superstar, Sami Zayn. Yes?
Pseudo NXT superstar. Yeah.
Pseudo, all right, well.
I'm just kidding.
And we all share, whatever. We all share the same taste in music because we all love Guns N' Roses.
Yes.
And Cliff here had a connection to the band.
Yeah.
And you can take over from here.
All right, here we go.
I'm going to get some cheese.
Grab me a water, please.
Yeah, sure.
This will not make it emotional. Anyway, I had a connection with Bumblefoot, the guitarist in Guns N' Roses. Thank you.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah, great dude.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to be in Chicago. You guys are doing Allstate. Is there any way you could get me tickets for, it was supposed to be for me and one other person. And he's the nicest guy in the world, yeah, right? And he goes, I'll get you the full setup, backstage, the whole deal. You can stand on the stage right next to me. And I was like, fuck, awesome.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, he goes, you can hang out with the band and everything. And he goes,
Fork.
He goes, whatever. So I get to Chicago. I get to Punk's house. Cabana's there with Marty DeRosa. And I've never met Generico, Sammy. I've never met him. I don't know him. So I walk in and there's this guy with a Skid Row t-shirt on. And he's a little stranger looking.
You knew of him, though.
Oh, no, I knew of him, exactly. We were kind of...
Through
the Colt, yeah. And he goes, are you going to Guns N' Roses tonight? And I go, yeah. And he goes, I'm a huge Guns N' Roses fan. And I go, cool, man. I go, Skid Row, obviously, too, because he had a Skid Row shirt on. And he was like, how do I get a ticket? I go, I don't know. I don't know if it's sold out. He goes, well, how are you going? And I was like, oh, we have I'm like, I got really lucky. We got this, we got that. So it got to the point where Marty wanted to go, too, DeRosa. And Marty was just going to buy a ticket. Because I didn't want to hassle Bumblefoot for...
Sure.
So we're eating at like a Jimmy John's outside Allstate Arena before we go, and it's all there's people everywhere. It's all fucked up. We couldn't get the right passes, so we call Bumblefoot. He just literally walks out from backstage in front of all these people, and he's just like, "Hey, come on, guys, come on, back here." So we go backstage, and like there was like really nothing going on backstage. It was very laid back. The band was back there. But long story short, he just goes, "Who do you got?" And like I look, and it's Punk, Marty, and Sammy, and like they were gonna buy tickets and just watch. And then I'm walking, and I just see, them following us. And the next thing I know, Sammy and Marty are also there, which is fine. Like I was like, great, cool. But I'd never met Sammy before. I didn't know Sammy, and they invite us into the green room. It's like 2 hours before the show, and then we went on stage. It was cool. And I walk back, and Sammy is walking around with Bumblefoot's guitar, like this. And he's going...
I didn't even know that part.
Yeah, I have a picture. And I go, he's telling me like he likes me, and I'm like, oh, okay, whatever, He's like, do you know my friend Kevin? And I'm just like, we're here to see Guns, man. Enjoy yourself. And I go to Marty. I go, hey, what's up with this guy? He goes, that's Colt's boy. And I go, I know, but what's up with him? He goes, I think he's a little fucked up. I go, like drugs and shit? He goes, no, he's just a weirdo. So then I go to Punk and I go, what's up with, because at the time it was Generico. And he goes, you know who? I go, yeah, he wears the mask and shit, you know. And I go, but he's a little odd, but not in a bad way. Like I was having fun with Sam. Like we were totally like Wayne and Garth in Wayne's World. We were like, you know, we're at backstage at Guns N' Roses, and the whole band's there except Axl, and so Sammy goes, so when do we go to our seats? And I go, we don't. And he goes, well, what do you mean? I go, we're standing on stage, and he just goes. What do you mean? I go, we have a special treatment. We're gonna just be able to stand on the stage, like right next to Bumblefoot. And he goes, like on the stage? We're not in the crowd? And he goes, no. He's baffled. Like he can't speak almost. So
that doesn't happen often.
And then like it's the band's green room, which it wasn't as like elaborate as you would think. It looks like a house show for them. And so now he starts getting a little more comfortable. He goes over to the bar and he opens the fridge and he's like, no Red Bulls. And I'm just like, and the drummer was kind of an asshole. He had like the rock and roll ego and all that. Bumblefoot was cool, DJ Ash, but they were all cool. And because actually WWE used Chinese democracy for a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I remember.
So anyway, I'm just sitting there next to Marty, and Punk's, just like, and he's just like enjoying himself, like he's just like it's his house.
Yeah.
Which isn't. I'm still not like. I'm just like, okay, this kid's really having fun. So then, Axl comes by himself, so the whole band's there, and the whole arena's sold out. So like, Axl wasn't very late, but he was a little late. And Bumblefoot is like, he's en route, guys. So just when who's the famous tour manager? I forget, but
I don't remember.
Dell or something. He was like, guys, just get on stage. And they were telling us about the pyro when the lights go, the all earplugs. But so like literally all of a sudden, like they're like, all right. And like Axl had showed up with like his Brazilian assistants and all that. And like I'm just sitting, and I see him, and he walks out. He literally just came from his bus, and I'm like, cool, there's Axl Rose. And I'm just looking, and Generic was like, where is he? I don't see him. And I'm just like, so then like we're on stage now, and this is him, where he's like, what the fuck are we doing up here? Like, this is where we're watching the show. He goes, here? And, like, all the guitars are, like, right here. Yeah. And then he goes, like, there's a box, and it has the whole place sit on. And he goes, they're opening up with Chinese democracy. Then welcome to the jungle. Then Mr. Brown. And then this is when I'm just like, this guy's a liability. So the whole place goes black. They hit the Dexter theme, which was cool. And then the band comes on, and like they rip into Chinese democracy, and we're all just kind of at first like, this is really cool with the pyro and shit, and Marty's just taking it all in. Punk's just standing there enjoying himself, and then Sammy starts to enjoy himself a little more than the average person. And
you're making him sound like you start jerking off on stage.
So now Bumblefoot was completely drunk, and he had an idea for his solo to have Punk come out and like hit him with like a fucking GTS, but it wasn't. The manager was like, "Sorry, we can't do that." So anyway, they hit Chinese democracy, and then of course you know how to do Welcome to the Jungle, and the whole fucking place goes nuts, and it's like, "Do you know where you are?" And all of a sudden, I just see Sammy, and it's like, and he's just going, starts doing this.
It's incredibly accurate, by the way.
Like this, right? And then like right when it hits, and then like there's this huge fucking pyro blast, and like the lights blink to warn everybody, but everyone's got earplugs on. And Dizzy, like you're Dizzy Reed, that's how close he is to us. Okay. And there's Sammy is gone, and all of a sudden like we're all like laughing because we know the pyro is coming, so we're all like this because I forget when it hit, but like we're waiting to see if Sam is gonna even notice. This fucking percussion would blow you off the stage. He doesn't skip the beat, he's just going, BAM! And he's just going, looks around and just goes. So now, like, I'm starting to have fun, and I'm like, getting into it. And anyway, about 5 songs in, and then now he's looking at the playlist to make sure they're going in order. I go, they're not playing every one of these songs. These are all the songs that they play, but you might not hear them all. And so he's like, hey, are they going to play Estranged? And I'm like, I don't know, man. And he's like, it's so easy. It's so easy. Right? Okay, so we're about 2 hours in.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, this is where it gets to the point where I was like, okay, this guy's fucked. I'm having the time of my life. It's a concert and I'm on stage. This motherfucker, for some reason, My Michelle hits.
Oh, he goes insane for that one.
And it goes, your mommy works in porno now that daddy is not around. She used to love her heroin, but now she's underground. So you stay out late at night and you do your coke for free. Driving your friends crazy with your life insanity, right? Mm-hmm. Just like that. Mm-hmm. So Sammy, now he's really kicking it. He's like, well, you just can't tell. And he's starting to move out into the stage. You just can't tell. And then I'm like, fuck yeah, well, my Michelle. And then I just go. So now Sammy is pretty much on stage dancing, which if anyone's like, if Axel had seen that, he might have stopped the fucking show. He would have been, that's it, I'm gone. So Bumblefoot turns around and he's just like, he's drunk, he's just going, and then everyone's just like, and all of a sudden the tour manager pushes Sammy back and he goes, you can't go out there. And he goes, thanks, dance Nazi. And I kept calling Gennaro. I go, dude, you're on the stage dancing out there like a fucking maniac. He goes, well, it's a fucking concert, man. I go, I can't describe this.
He's on the stage.
So, yeah. And then he goes, fuck, man. He goes, this is awesome. I go, I know, but you can't dance on stage. Like, you see where you were? And then he goes, yeah. I go, and then all of a sudden you see Axel run by. And I'm like, you just would have collided with him. He goes, do you think you would have got mad? I go, no.
You would have loved it.
So they go and they play for another they play a hell of a 3-hour show. It's great. Yeah. And I'm realizing Generico. So we finish and we get in the back and Bumblefoot's like, you guys want to say hi to Axe? And I was like, of course, And he's like, he's cool, if I know him right, he's sitting there in his white bathrobe and he's got his Heineken or whatever. And Gennaro goes, we're gonna meet Axel? and this is Punk. And then there's Marty DeRosa, who's just still recovering from all the pyro. Because he just, for some reason, Marty just got blown out by the pyro. They offered us earplugs, but we were just like, whatever. And he goes, and Bumblefoot's pissed drunk, which is fine, because Ron's Ron. And he's like, all right, he's just sitting on the couch. You guys want to go see him? And I'm just like, oh, say hi to him. It'd be great to meet Axel. Yeah. Pretty cool. He's like, come on. And so there we go. It's the 4 of us being let in to his dressing room, which wasn't anything fancy. It looked like this, really. Right. And he just had like a table and a leather couch. He's in a white robe and he has a Heineken. And so we just are in the corner and we're just staring at him. And Bumblefoot's going through the pizza that's on the fucking thing. And then there's his Brazilian assistant and son. And he just goes to the Bumblefoot. He goes, who are these people? And he was like, oh, they're my friends and whatever. Something they once sponsored. I don't know. So anyway, Marty DeRosa, of all people, goes up to Axel and goes, hey, man, great show. And Axel just goes, oh, thanks. And
I know what's coming.
All of a sudden, and Punk's just acting. Punk's just happy to, he's enjoying himself. So Marty, I go, oh, how ballsy, Marty. Good for you. Generico goes, we're next. I go, for what? He goes, shake Axel's hand. And I go, I don't think you should bother him, dude. He's just got finished a fucking, see how it flows out. And he goes, okay, we'll just chill. Then all of a sudden this happens. Big fucking fan, man! There's nobody in the room but us. You would have thought there was 10,000 people in the room, and he screams it as loud as he can. No joke. This is what he says to me. He goes, so we're just going to hang out and see what happens. So yeah, we'll just, feel the vibe, I'm sure in like 10, 20 minutes he'll just be like talking and stuff. Cool, that's awesome, man. Big fucking fan, man!
Oh.
Okay.
The best part is it gets worse.
And if that's not enough, I said, no need to scream. Axel didn't even react. Axel's like an old school rock and roll guy. He didn't even react. I'm like, Jesus. Next thing I know, there he goes. There he goes. There goes Generico. Like a dog off a leash. This is him. Just stand up for a second, please. Just you pretend to be Cliff, and I'm Sammy.
All right.
I'm gonna go shake his hand. No.
Don't do it.
No, I'm gonna go shake his hand. Hi, how are you? Doesn't even acknowledge him. Hey, can I get a picture with you? All right, here's Axl Rose. There's Axl Rose. He's got a white robe on. All right, and there's put like your hands in my face. And then he said nothing. And then he goes, "Can I get a picture?" This is Axl Rose. Not now. And he stands up. Can we get some fucking music on in here already? And then Rami just backs up. And I just go. And he looks at me and he goes, "Was that wrong?" And then all of a sudden there's reggae music playing, and Axl just starts dancing like this. And then Rami looks at me and he goes, "You see, he's not mad." So then he storms by us, and I go, "Hey," "How are you?" Nothing. And then he went was taking a shower and doing his vocal cool downs, and like.
He cost you a chance to meet Axl, because if he hadn't acted insane, you probably could have shook his hand.
Well, Bumblefoot.
And you're the reason he was there.
He wasn't supposed to be there. That's the whole moral of the story.